Welcome back to artofdino.com and saveearth.us. I have got a massive collection of arts, all AI using Bing Image Creator. I believe uses DALL-E 3 technology. But these are a lot of my collection of artworks that were produced that I am surprised AI was able to do without getting a restriction. I've tried a lot of prompts that have been restricted, but here's a collection of ones that aren't. So feel free to screenshot them and spread them because they've got power. It's basically my political cartoon ideas in AI form, rapid fire through a bunch of different categories. So this one is about the Hawaiian fires and how they were definitely not natural. They were most definitely started from some kind of beam up there, so I wanted AI to do that. And again, this is all about using AI against them. Use this imagery however you wish. It is not mine. I don't care about it. I have no connection to it, and use it. Feel free. So this one is kind of the elephant in the Americas, like how they say there's an elephant in the room, some kind of thing that people are ignoring that's almost too massive to be ignored. And these elephants and donkeys are both jabbed with a bunch of medical needles. And to me, that is the massive elephant in the room. The human population and DNA strand had been altered by a bunch of stupid buttheads who, with a political war to win. And that is the elephant in the Americas. It is obvious to many people, not to some, sadly, but it will be. And this one is for sale. How I believe this kind of relates to my theory that our realm was once for sale and purchased by our controllers, who are hidden to us. But I believe this realm goes a lot further, and a lot of different places in realms, in worlds, in earths are for sale along this giant plane. And here we go. This is one about connecting money to the Big Pharma disaster. And how basically that's all they are. All these needles, all these jabs, all these different things that they try to... I'm surprised this one was able to make it. But all these different things, they are just disgusting, and they are all about money, sadly. And the Big Pharma is terrible. And here we go. This one is kind of like the leaders dangling golden peace and a golden peace sign in front of a bunch of people, the sea of people that they don't care about at all. It's like they're going fishing, which is a leisurely activity for most of us in this realm, but they are putting all these things, peace, money, gold, all these different things on a lure to try and get us. It is all a giant show, and these people are running it. Not these exact people, obviously, but the general idea you get here is that there are people above us that are playing us like a fiddle, like a bunch of just rats, pretty much, and bugs. And this one is the medical industry and how justice awaits it, and how I believe that every single person who was in on the fiasco of the last 2020 and several years, if they are guilty of going against their Hippocratic oath and doing things that harmed humanity, which many of them are, then, and knowingly, because they probably profited and were bribed, then I believe they should all face justice. Every single one of them. Scan all their emails, scan everything. Someone needs to discover and use discovery against all these doctors that led humanity astray in a terrible place and irreversible damage to so many people and families. There's no excuse for it. They should be punished. This one is kind of combining how the medical industry versus the natural industry, and it used to all be natural, and it should, and hopefully will one day again be all natural, because these pharmaceutical monsters are only in it for the money, and every one of their solutions is actually a band-aid and just a cover-up of the real problem. Nothing gets healed, everything just gets covered up. And this is the tsunami of nonsense that all these doctors and professionals are swimming in, even though they're lying through their teeth. And the wave of truth is coming to wipe them all out, because truth and science should go together, but when a cult gets mixed in with it, you suffer, and truth will always win in the end. And this one is just about the gods, the kind of different gods and sacred beings, all eating delicious fruits and vegetables, not eating any animals, just sharing a vision of beauty in the garden, and everything is perfect, everything is healthy, everything is pure. And then you get this vision of our world, our little tiny realm, our little prison realm, which is just totally monitored, totally protected, and we are forbidden to go outside of it. We are forbidden to do so many different things. And so this is a great visualization of our realm in this prison that they've made for us, and hopefully we can break out of at some point. But again, this isn't exactly the vision I believe AI is coming up with these, but it's a cool thought and a cool concept to illustrate. In this one, about how the mountains, every one of the mountains has an amazing civilization buried inside of it, crumbled, melted, all kinds of different things. So a great visualization of that theory, which could otherwise would take years to illustrate these things, but it can be done in minutes. And this is kind of about a distant past in the giants, the theory that maybe the giants created us and we are the pets of some other divine race of beings that may know more and maybe have be settled and have civilizations far beyond the poles that we cannot fathom, and probably had them on this realm, but they are lost. And again, more of the theory that what we are seeing is only a part of our world, and that the main stuff lies underground. And how many layers could there be, and how ancient is the civilization? Every single city, Paris, New York, everywhere has an underground civilization and catacombs that were once thriving and in their prime, but are now kind of destitute. But somewhere beyond our realm, or down deep enough, there might still be people thriving and doing all different kinds of things with modes of travel beyond the realms, anything. That's just beautiful. And sometimes that happens. So this is kind of like the touch of God putting his little fingertip on the earth, and just some different celestial realms and visions here. This is kind of like different visions of the past, and these are kind of Meru, envisioning Mount Meru and what would be beyond the poles, a giant magnetic mountain with a city, an advanced city of different people beyond it, and taking the Tartarian griffins on a ride to this city. Although that's probably why they got rid of the airships, because I believe the airships were the ones that would have normally taken everyone wherever they wanted beyond any form of realm or barrier on Earth. You could just float right above it. And this just, again, a beautiful visions of an amazing place that we can't see, we're forbidden to see. So we're going to kind of use our imagination and fuel it a little bit. And this one I really like as well. I've done a couple of these ones, which is Lady Justice, Lady Liberty, on top of an ancient, on ruins, just battling the snake, the beast, the demons. And so, Lady Liberty has a lot of symbolism behind her. I'm not going to go too deep into that. I'm just going to use her kind of as justice and to represent liberty and freedom, and possibly an ancient race of women who probably did a lot on this world, because you can tell whenever they belittle something in our present, in the past it was something big, and they are belittling women and trying to take away their power, which means that they were probably astoundingly powerful back in the day in the old world. And so again, hopefully they get it back. Liberty, peace, all this stuff needs to take this monster down. We are all sick of it. All these people, all these disgustingly evil people get away with so much. They get away with so much evil, so much death, so much disgusting behavior that it's sickening. And Lady Justice seems to be doing nothing. So I'd like to see Lady Justice tackle these demons and win. Starting with this guy, the guy who thinks that mosquitoes should be used as jabs and vectors for vaccines and different ways of getting the population to succumb to something without having anything to do it. So utilizing nature and one of nature's worst things, mosquitoes, for an even worse purpose. And this makes me question everything. Ticks, all these things. I have a feeling they were all designed this way. Every single insect or bug you think is annoying and overpopulating and has a bad as like a serious kind of contagion associated with it, is most likely from a lab. And these people are just disgusting, how they willy-nilly will release billions of mosquitoes into all these places, cause all these problems, and take no responsibility for it, and not pay one slight price. The future needs to be smarter than this. We can't allow these monsters to do anything like this. These people are disgustingly pathetic, and they need to be brought to justice. There's no excuse for one jerk scientist or any jerk scientist to make decisions that affect millions of people. It should never be possible. It should absolutely not. In this one, would be something I would like to see when justice is finally served, is the people taking those responsible for whatever happened in 2020 and beyond, and caging them. They have caged so many of us for saying things or doing things that are perfectly freedom oriented and we have the freedom to do. And they did so many things, and never forget the family members that they took from us, because they took some from me, and I am not going to forget it ever. And I don't think anyone should. That was a disaster that needs correcting. The longer we go without correcting that nightmare of 2020 and beyond, the closer we get to having it strike again. And the people up at the top need to be put at the bottom. And that's just the way it goes. So again, cool visions. Feel free, again, to share any of these. Spread them far. Take credit for them. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I only care about my drawings, and these are not them. These are just ideas, of which I have trillions. And this is another one that's kind of interesting, just showing, poking kind of fun at the astronauts who claim that satellites are, they're all over the place. There's millions of them up there, but we've got it strategically purposed so that none of them hit each other, and blah, blah, blah. There's no balloons. We're using helium in the spaceship and all these things, and the International Space Station needs helium, but, it's not a balloon. But this thing is all pathetic, and these people are stuck at the ISS now, and they're supposed to be up there for a year. Meanwhile, know they're filming whatever the next scene is that is coming, and it's more on that later. But this one is just kind of showing, good versus evil, the duality of what is at stake. Do we want a world that's just crippled in bones and skeletons and evil and devilish and disgusting and nasty and just sickening? Or do we want a beautiful, healthy, perfect, angelic, spiritual, epiphany, magical realm of life, growing perfection everywhere? I choose the latter. This one was kind of an interesting idea about kind of just noticing the power of the political parties in this present race, and how they could basically definitely all be puppets for the same demon. However, there is too much going in one direction, and one guy is clearly far more competent than the other ones. The golden guy is definitely clearly far more competent than the fools, absolute freak puppets on the other side. Sad to say, but yikes. The difference has never been clearer, and you hope that they're not both getting their strings pulled, and I'd like to believe that only one side is getting pulled by the demons, but you never know in this world, sadly, because of the way they have made it. It is tough to tell what to believe, what to think, and who knows, because it is all a theater and all a charade, and they are so good at it that they know exactly what to do psychologically to tear everyone apart and create division and do all these things. So I hope this gets remedied, but the present state of the situation was pretty similar to some of those artworks, as the gods and the angels are like, what do we do? What do we do about these people down there? How can we fix this mess? And meanwhile, in most of our cities, Democrat run, the Lady Justice is like this. She's a trashy broad on the ground, looks drunk, a mess. That is what happened to the justice system in visualized form. This is the golden bullet and the COVID fiasco when Joe Biden came down with COVID and Trump got shot with the golden bullet. That was kind of a big, both of them on the theater scene. And this is a pretty local one relating to Nantucket, where they have made Nantucket, they have basically rammed their way into creating a wind farm in the middle of this beautiful ocean part. And the people were like, you guys will get so much power. It's going to be a perfect thing. It's going to be great. Meanwhile, already a couple years later, pieces of this are floating on board. Some of these blades are the size of a football field, and they're already destroying the nature of Nantucket. They promised these people, I don't know who could have ever voted for this, for something as stupid as this, but they voted for this and they were like, it's going to be clean, it's going to be fine, we'll take good care of it, and it's already falling apart a couple years later, has produced zero electricity, and is a complete disgusting scam that's destroying the nature and paying the wrong people, the evil, the sick, the disgusting, freakishly evil people, paying them a lot of money while everyone else suffers. Meanwhile, the local fishermen are having their land ruined. They can no longer fish in these zones. Their local customs are fading because of these people from other countries and other parts of the world that just don't care about anything except money. And it's really sickening because so much suffers from people like this, and they're just going around willy-nilly in our present time set, and they're not getting caught, they're not getting in trouble, no one is being enforced. And especially with this. As this goes on, this is just one of the worst things that I feel is happening. I personally can't walk outside of my house any day without noticing these. It's very rare that I'll say, oh wow, there's nothing in the sky today that's toxic. Meanwhile, you talk to 99% of the people around you and they're like, what? The clouds look nice. Oh, that's not from a what? They wouldn't do that to us. All these stupid things that you hear. Meanwhile, to us, it's this obvious. If they spelt toxic in the sky with planes, I still wonder who would notice. I'm honestly, I'd be shocked if I even heard one person come up to me and be like, did you see that? I wonder if there's something behind that. These people are so oblivious, and again, they're on their phones. They don't care. They're taking Instagram pics. They don't care about the poison that they're suffering from. Meanwhile, we're being smothered like roaches. And even Prince pointed it out, and how people get angry when it's cloudy because of these things. And God knows if they're doing stuff like this. They have the ability to aerosol spray us with anything, form clouds, have it again fall down. Who's to say they aren't doing it with things that they've genetically engineered and modified? Viruses, bacterias, all different kinds of things. We are 100% being experimented on, and 99% of the population has no clue. So again, awareness is really key. Take any of these images, spread them out there. If you like them, take them, spread them, put your name on it, put a message, an impact in bold letters on the top of it, and just spread it out there. That's what I want this to be for, a collection of things that I've got from the AI that I want you all to be able to use and wake people up, snap them out of it. And here's some of the evil demons in charge of the pharmaceutical industry showing the people what they really think about them. And this is how it seems to me. This is a visual form of a metaphor of the medical industry in this present time period, sadly. And again, we're so knowledgeable. We've got so much backing history of knowledge about health and science behind us, but all of it's being thrown into the trash, into the dumpster fire, while they seem to be doing things that are against humanity instead of healing them. Back in the day, things were natural, things were nice, things worked harmoniously with the body. They don't do that anymore. They only want profit, and they get more money, they get more profit the sicker they make you. If they heal you, they don't get paid. If they keep you sick forever, they get paid forever. It's really not that tough to figure out, but yet so many generations of people are just addicted to the doctor and can't stay away from it at all. It's like they feel like they have the insurance, they need to use it, and it's really sick and sad. But again, boom, election year, this is kind of the way it goes in the election year. You never know what's going to happen, what these people will do, and because of the sick things that they've done in the past, that they continue to do daily and daily, it is as if they are being run and puppet and had their strings pulled by the devil himself. Because I personally, people like me and people that are good can't fathom this stuff, or how people would waste the miracle of life to dedicate it towards destruction and demonic things. It's unfathomable to us, but to them it's not. It's like they're a different form of human. And again, this is kind of a call for help in what I envision the angels awaiting to come help us would look like from a tower beyond our realm. And then this is the way I believe mushrooms should heal the medical industry. They should take down the buildings, and people should be using mushrooms. The science of that should go up exponentially. Billions and billions of dollars should be put into it, and the answer should be found. This is, again, the split. How it's millions and billions of people versus a few reptilian freaks. This is the way of the world right now. There are billions of us, 7 billion people, and then there's about 5,000 people who just don't want us to figure out this truth. They don't want us to know that they're outnumbered, that we could easily conquer them, that we could easily take the power back from them. They do not want that, so they spend so much money. They funnel all the money towards them so that they are allowed to create a charade that enables people to think that they can't conquer, but they can, and we will at some point. I hope we do. We end the charade. Get the charade out of here. Get the circus out. And again, wow, this is kind of like the processed food monster. This is what people's probably guts look like, and probably monsters that people will become. I don't even know if you continue to eat GMO foods, and there are so many everywhere in America that are not allowed in any other country, and we need to wake up to that. People everywhere need to wake up to that, so they stop buying it, and so they go. And these are the people at top of the ivory tower getting ready to hit that reset button in the chess game of the world realm, and with these losers all pulling the strings about everything that goes below them. They are the media. They are all connected. Everything sick is connected in the same sickness. And this is just kind of our world, our history, how it's being rotten, it's moldy, it's been plagued. Our beautiful history has been lost. It's been stolen from us. This sphere is not what people thought we were on forever. The ancient people knew much better. They explored much further, and they knew so much more that we are not allowed to know. We are not to be told. We are not taught any of these things. We are only taught the wrong stuff so that our soul suffers, and we can't make it out of this prison. And we have no desire to, because we're content being sucked into this vortex and stuck here in nihilistic nonsense. But a lot of us aren't happy with that. We're not content with it. So we're going to fight that. Again, I'm showing visions of things that are happening maybe, or seem like they're happening, but can be fixed. I do believe everything can be fixed, and we need to rewrite history. We need to burn down the old books, the ones that they've made since that last reset, and we need to rewrite it all as we dig and dig and dig and find more and more and more out about our truth, because so much has been manipulated, so much has been lied to, and it's just the end of that nonsense is hopefully near, because we all deserve truth. And the TVs, we can't be believing these things anymore. Again, so many people, the boomers, they believed everything that they saw on TV. That can't happen. People need to take their lives back. The TV is a bad thing. Certain movies are great. I do like movies, but lately, holy good God, the movies, the TV, all the entertainment, the news especially, just disastrous, not worth it. Not worth anyone's time. And then these are just random view of the beginning of the world, view of the end of the world. Just some random prompts that I wanted to throw in there. And this is the grand finale, the last one of this collection. And I have more collections to show. But this is the family versus the war machine. And the war machine is raging. Both sides seem to want it. That's how we know it's all a theater, sadly. But the family, we are on the side of family. I am always on the side of good in families and children and beauty everywhere. I will always remain on this side. Nothing, no amount of money could ever sway me. I have been through the poorest, and that is fine with me. I'm happy. And this war machine rages on, and it must be stopped. Families need to speak out, because we don't want our children to experience any of this nonsense. Enough is enough. Our generation has been fortunate enough to be able to learn a lot about what our past generations did wrong, and now we need to start getting things right. And ending war is very important. Start getting things right. And ending war is very important. Protecting our children from all of these nasty things is very important. Ending this political charade is very important. Getting our food back together, very important. Discovering our history, all of these things are truly important, because we need to settle them. Our other past generations gave up and didn't even realize they had an important mission like this. We do realize it, and we need to stick with it, and we will, to protect our families so that our children can grow up in a place with full potential, limitless potential, like the old world, and they can bring that magic back, because they're going to need it as we escape this realm in this next generation. We will expand our world, and it's going to be beautiful. So get ready. Bless you all.